All right, let's get into one of the most mind-bending ideas in all of biology. We're going to explore a kind of life where thousands of individuals all act like a single being, a creature with one mind, but many, many bodies. So it all starts with this classic puzzle. You know the scene. A honeybee attacks an intruder to defend its hive. And when it stings, it literally rips its own body apart and dies. Now, if you're thinking about survival of the fittest, this makes zero sense, right? Why on earth would an animal evolve to just commit suicide? Well, the answer is so wild, it completely changes how you think about what an animal even is. The reason that bee makes the ultimate sacrifice is because, from evolution's point of view, that single bee isn't what really matters. That's right, the bee isn't acting on its own. It's more like a single cell in a much bigger body. The real animal, the thing that natural selection is truly shaping, is the entire hive. Welcome to the absolutely strange world of the superorganism. So how do you become one of these incredible superorganisms? Turns out it's not easy. Evolution has this very specific recipe, almost like an exclusive club with a really strict set of rules you have to follow to get in. Okay, so what are these rules? First, and this is the big one, a reproductive division of labor. This means almost everyone in the society gives up their own chance to have kids. They dedicate their entire lives to helping just one individual, the queen, reproduce. Second, it really does take a village. Everyone has to pitch in and help raise the queen's babies. And third, generations have to stick together. So the adult kids hang around to help their mom raise their younger brothers and sisters. And when you put those three rules together, what you get is a colony that basically functions like a single body. I mean, think about it. The queen isn't a ruler, she's the reproductive system. The workers, they're everything else. The muscles, the immune system, the whole shebang. That bee that dies for the hive, suddenly it's no more mysterious than one of your own skin cells dying to protect you. So, let's actually see these rules in action with the most famous superorganisms on the planet. I'm talking about ants and bees. They've perfected this strategy, creating these living fortresses that are so efficient they dominate pretty much every ecosystem on Earth.
First things first, we gotta get one thing straight about the queen. She is not sitting on a tiny throne, barking out orders. Nope. She's more like a walking chemical factory. She's constantly pumping out this cocktail of pheromones that flows through the colony, telling everyone she's healthy and suppressing the other female's ability to reproduce. She rules by chemistry, not by command.
And get this, royalty isn't in their blood, it's in the food. Any female bee larva has the genetic potential to become a queen. The only thing that separates her from a worker is her diet. If she's fed a non-stop diet of this protein-rich superfood called royal jelly, she becomes a queen. If she gets less, just honey and pollen, she becomes a worker. Her destiny is literally served on a platter. And the life of a worker bee is this super tightly scheduled career path that changes as she gets older. You know, she starts out with the safe indoor jobs like cleaning the hive and nursing the young. Then she graduates to construction and guard duty. And only in the last few weeks of her life does she take on the most dangerous job of all, foraging for food outside the hive. So if the queen isn't giving the orders, who's in charge? And the incredible answer is nobody. The colony's complex, super intelligent behavior just emerges. It comes from thousands of individual workers, each one following a very simple set of programmed rules. There's no grand plan, just this hive mind that is way, way smarter than the sum of its parts. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's just a weird thing that ants and bees do. But this evolutionary strategy is so powerful, so successful, that it's popped up independently in completely unrelated animals all across the globe. I mean, this is a perfect example of what scientists call convergent evolution. Just look at termites. Unlike bees, termites are normal diploid animals. Genetically, they're just like us. This proves you don't need weird genetics to become a superorganism. And then you've got naked mole rats. We're talking about mammals, living in these underground fortresses with a queen and a few chosen kings. It's just incredible. And the way they're structured is really different too. In the world of bees and ants, every single worker and soldier is female. It's a true army of sisters. But termite colonies, they're fully co-ed, with both males and females working side by side. It just goes to show you there's more than one way to build a fortress. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, nature's like, hold my beer. There are species of shrimp that have become superorganisms. Yeah, shrimp. They live inside these sea sponges, which act as both their fortress and their farm, with hundreds of them all serving a single shrimp queen. It's a literal underwater empire.
So, seeing this same pattern emerge over and over across the animal kingdom, it leads to the ultimate question, a question about a certain highly cooperative, globe-spanning species that builds massive fortresses we call cities, a question about us.
Let's just put it out there. Are we humans a kind of superorganism? Have we actually crossed that same threshold into the highest level of social living? Well, the debate here is fascinating. On the one hand, yeah, we check a lot of the boxes. We build complex nests, we have an insane division of labor, and we absolutely need each other to raise our kids. But the case against us is a big one. Biologically, we don't have sterile worker castes. Pretty much every human is born with the ability to reproduce. We haven't crossed that biological point of no return. So, if it's not our biology that makes us such super cooperators, what is it? Well, it turns out we have our own unique superpower. It isn't fixed genetic roles. It's something way more flexible and powerful. Cumulative culture. And here's the key difference, right? An ant's destiny is basically written in its body from the moment it's born. But a human can learn to be anything. Our roles, soldier, doctor, engineer, are defined by knowledge that's passed down, not by our genes. What we've basically done is achieve the same result as the ants, but we took a totally different path. We've outsourced the job of creating a complex society from our DNA to our brains. We use learning, technology, and culture to create a division of labor that's way more complex and adaptable than anything in the insect world. And that leaves us with one last really big thought. Right now, our technology is connecting billions of us into a single real-time network. So, are we actually witnessing the birth of a brand new kind of planetary superorganism? One that's bound not by pheromones, but by fiber optics and shared ideas? Now, that is something to think about.